How's it going, guys? Today I'm at Mount Glorious. I've got a creek sussed out that I want to look at called South Kobble Creek. There's two branches, there's north and south. I've done up Middle Kobble Falls is what they call the one on the north trib, or the north branch. And this south branch has no official named waterfall, but however there are, potentially two waterfalls on there, I think, from the topographic line. I'm basically following a very overgrown, dodgily marked track that comes off the Piper Comanche, how you even bloody say it, off the plane wreck track. So basically it is a kind of faint trail. There are remnants of the logging here with the old stumps, and there are randomly a couple of pink ribbons as well. So obviously someone has come up here recently. But yeah, the idea is this track's going to end up at the creek above the waterfall, or possibly between both of them, depending on how it is. And I will attempt to climb down, see how we go. But yeah, as you come in from the road, it's like you're on a fire trail. You just got to be careful where you turn off so you don't miss this faint trail. Otherwise, yeah, you'll be walking the wrong way. All right, but it's been about half an hour and I'm almost at the creek. So when I get there in a minute, I will check in with you again, see if I can get down easily. The brush has been passable so far, nothing crazy. So pretty happy with, so far the trail, but the last part might be the question. So we shall see. All right, guys, so the last part down to the creek was pretty steep, but definitely still manageable. Let's go down to the creek. I went left for a little bit just to get above the top of these little topographic lines. So there's basically three sections of topographic lines on at least this part of the creek that I'm on. I'm basically, on the middle one right now. So I went to the top of the middle one and a couple of little cascades to the left, and then I've turned around and come downwards. So now we're going downstream. This is the base, or at least what I think is the last of this topographic section. I know this is getting confusing now. Regardless, not a lot of flow. It did rain pretty heavy two nights ago. So, maybe this is as best as creek is going to get. Who's to really know? But yeah, I'm going to go downstream. There's going to be a trib on my left that's going to join. Hopefully that trib will give more water to the actual creek, which means the next waterfall below might be better off. And then after we get down to there, I'm going to make a decision. There's a couple of ways to really do this. I could either go up another trib, out, and cut back up around, or I return back up where I am here, continue upstream, past to where I first entered, go a little bit further, and look at this other waterfall. And then there's another way to bash out back to another trail, quote unquote, at the top. So yeah, really could be done in 2 days. I mean, you could really kind of cut in, go down, cut out the trip as I said, and the other day cut in, go north upstream and cut out the other way. But anyway, we'll see how it goes, see how it's flowing. It's, high probability it'll probably come back up this way, just because I'm not too sure how the other trip's going to be flowing. At least I know what I'm in for here. Anyway, I'll climb down, I'll keep going and check in with you when I find more cool stuff. Well, we've got a nice carpet snake here, or python, just chilling by the waterfall. Alright guys, so I'm down to the third group of waterfall tiers. This one was a little bit tricky to get down. I almost couldn't do it, but I managed to finally, find the way to go down to the left-hand side near the Fern Gully. But the rock face itself was just slightly precarious. But anyway, with the other trib joined up, the flow was slightly better. And there may be 2 or 3 at the most, I reckon, tiers to go, and then I'll retrace the steps. The other trib where this water is coming in from, it wasn't super flowing, so it definitely wasn't much to explore up that. And there is one more trib down here as well, which I'll see when we get down here, but don't expect too much. Anyway, we'll keep going. Alright, so this is tier number 2 of the lower set of falls. Slightly better flow, a little bit wider rock face, and a bit more impressed. And looks like another 1 or 2. And Probably won't be as amazing, but I don't know. I seem to always talk things down, eh? But like, the point is, when you go to these creeks of no-named falls, a lot of times they aren't massive, and that's the whole point why they don't have official names. But at the end of the day, still love to explore it. So let's be optimistic. Let's say there's something amazing down there, all right? All right, we'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, so another little cascade. It's only small, but this is the best swimming hole so far. It's not super deep, but it's deep enough that you can, you know, get in there and kind of lay down and be up to your neck almost. And it's super clear, river rocks, no mud, and yeah, looks very inviting. Little or no algae, so looks good to me. But yeah, we're almost at the end of where I'm going to be turning around. Yeah, I don't think much more is going to be after this, but yep, I'll check it with you once I figure that out. We've got this little lizard here, just chilling. He's looking right at me, doesn't know which way to go. Another swimming hole, people. I don't know why the sun's messed that up. There we go. Yeah, you may get turned off swimming here when you see that I've seen 2 of these water snakes today, plus a python. But anyway, at least they run from you. Nothing special here. This is pretty much the turnaround. I'm just wanting to film that snake for you. Alright, so I'm pretty much at the turnaround point, and there's been 3 swimming holes, and this one is the deepest, where you can actually get in up to your head, pretty much standing. So beautiful and clear. Unfortunately, you're looking at nearly about 3 hours to get here one way. So fun times, but yeah, gorgeous, but fucking amazing hidden spot. There's a trib just here behind me, which you can see is dry as a bone. There's one more trib on the right that I'm going to walk to. That's going to be my actual turnaround point. I don't think there's any falls, but I'm just going to go there just for a point of reference to know where I've walked to. Alrighty, and then I'll get up to the last set of falls at the top. So there may be 3 tiers to the last waterfall at the top that I haven't been yet. So then we'll bash the fuck out of here. Cool. Alright, I'll see ya when I'm at wherever I'm at. Alright guys, so pretty much an hour I boosted back up because, you know, when you're not taking photos and videos, you move always quicker. So yep, I'm back to where I began this morning. So basically, you can see this cool little cascade, and you can't quite see in the camera yet, but there is a big waterfall in the background right behind it, which is the last one that we're going for today. Now whether or not there's another one above it, there may be, but I can't expect it to be 3 small waterfalls, but in the end it just could be just one big one, so it could be double lucky. Anyway, we'll get up here, we'll get to the bottom of the big one, and I'll show you. We'll figure out if there's any more. Alright guys, so we are at our biggest waterfall of the day. Funnily enough, saved the best to last. I wasn't quite sure this was going to be the biggest. I thought maybe the bottom one might have been bigger, but the bottom was big, but this is more of a straight up, and that's what I like about it. Flow's not super amazing, but damn, it's still flowing. So here's what it is for February. Yeah, basically tiny little spot. It's very shaded here. Wouldn't bother swimming there. I mean, if you're desperate, you could sit in it, but much better spots further down if you want to go the other way. Let's turn this camera around for a moment to show you, and then I'll climb on top and see what's above. Yeah, not too bad. Probably 40-50 metres. Alright, let's climb up. Alright, after a steep climb to the left-hand side of the fall, I've managed to meander my way around to the top. And there are like 3 tiny little cascades above it. And then it's going to flatten out for a bit. And there may be, up the trib, if I see how much further I'm going to go, maybe another 4. But it may get pretty dry by then, so I'm not holding my hopes up too high. This is looking down off the top of the fall, so it kind of has like another little level right here above before it drops right down, so pretty cool. Yeah, there's a little bit of pink marking tape on the tree. So what I think people normally do, they just go from the Piper Comanche, and there's 2 tracks. One that'll take you down to the creek, you meander along to the bottom of this fall, and there's another track that kind of cuts back out again before the base of this fall. So you don't even climb up it essentially on their track. You just kind of down to the creek, loop, look at the fall, go back. They don't normally go above it, they don't normally go as far below as what I did, I think. So that's me being adventurous. Now if you do come from way downstream, I haven't sussed it out, but like there is a road called Pringles Road, which apparently there's a track you can rock up the creek and it's all flat to get up to a off bush camp along the creek, and that'll eventually get you to where I got to today, and eventually if you keep going you'll get here obviously. But the only thing I don't understand with it is that when I look on Google Maps, it looks like it's all private property with houses at the end of the road. So that's the reason why I didn't come from that way, straight upstream. It would be much easier to go all the way from down there and just go straight up. However, it was a long way essentially before the waterfalls kind of started from Pringles Road. So I just found it easier to kind of come off top of Mount Glorious, dick around, do a circle, come back up as I've done, and it's pretty much going to be done within 6 hours. So I think it's worked out well the way I have done it. But anyway, I'll climb up these ones, see if there's anything above it. If there is, I'll check in with you again.